Jan, you know that I'm the hottest in the family, so I get all the dick pics. Marcia, why do you have to get all the dick pics? Jan, I just told you the reason. I'm the hottest in the family.
You've got mail.
Oh, Jan, there's something in the mail for you. What is it, Cindy? Oh, it's a dick pic addressed to me. Oh, wow. Jan, you're not wearing your glasses. It says to Marcia. Cindy doesn't know how to read. Oh, let me put on my glasses. Oh, it does say to Marcia. Marcia, Marcia, Marcia.
Think I'll stay home and chill out here tonight. I'm turning off my cell phone. I was drawn in the sky as a sun with sunglasses on. I need to take a break. I watch my mind go down in the smoke, and I can't look. I watch its eyes go through my window, and I can't found myself alone and on your couch last night in a black hole of misery. I was drawn.
Hey everybody, this is April Walterscheid. I have a special guest co-host today. Say your name.
Michele Paden.
And you're listening to Please Send
Dick pics.
We're in the same room too, so that's good. we're on like a different setup for recording than usual. So that's fun. How's your day going? Happy Memorial Day weekend.
It's going good. I'm getting ready for work tonight. But yeah, it was good.
Where do you work at right now?
I work at an emergency room.
Emergency room.
Yeah.
Oh man, that must be stressful.
It can be.
What are you most excited about? What are like the things that come into the emergency room that you're most excited about?
Well, there's always the people that you can save their life. That's very exciting. I like to pull like things I can fix, like a dislocated finger, something in an ear that I can just pull out.
That's so easy things, like almost like a child coming to you in the kitchen and you're like, oh, okay, you have something in your eye. All right. Or something simple.
Yeah, because they were really scared and I fixed it and then they can go home. It's completely.
When they're scared, they're conscious. So that's good.
Exactly. Yeah.
What is, so we're going to talk about comedy at some point, but what's the, let's see, what's the busiest holiday for emergencies that you've?
Thanksgiving.
The sales?
No, Thanksgiving. Burns, cutting their finger.
Oh my gosh. I had no idea. Oh, so like a lot of turkey, like maybe like frying the turkey and it like burned them or worse, or like their husband burned them, or like a lot of like dinner wars maybe.
Yeah.
And they just like, oh, I burned myself on the stove, but you know that like maybe a family member.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just making that up. Oh, well, I just worked in banking most of my life. I don't know. Do you suggest going into that line of work?
I certainly love it. It fits my personality, but definitely not everyone's.
It probably makes you super funny too.
I don't know.
So what got you into, you do comedy now. How long have you been doing it?
I've been doing comedy for 4 months. So very new. I fell in love with comedy in San Francisco. And I was shaken. I have like backwards self-esteem where I accomplish something. And then I'm like, I can accomplish this. It's very different.
Oh, backward self-esteem. I like that.
Yeah.
Do you have a joke about it? That sounds like a fun subject.
No, I think I've worked on some jokes about it. But no, I don't have anything good yet. Maybe a premise.
Your presentation is good because I've done a show with you. Have you been watching comedy for a while?
Yes, certainly my whole life.
Any favorite comics?
Whitney Cummings is one of my favorites. Chelsea Handler. I loved Brody Stevens.
Yeah.
And I watching Ali Wong kind of
Ali
come
Wong.
into her own was just amazing.
Did you know her in San Francisco? Was she in San Fran?
She was in San Fran when I was there, and so I saw her a few times. And I think that maybe watching that special kind of brought back of this is something that you can do.
Really about one subject, that whole special.
Yeah.
Or her specials are just about one subject, and she's pregnant while doing it. And it's about that, and mostly, and family. And so what was she always talking about that? Because I don't know early Ali Wong stuff. I just watch her Instagram videos.
No, it wasn't. Because she had never thought that was going to happen, is my impression.
Oh, that's right.
She never thought she was going to be the type of person to get married and have a family. And now she does. It's just super cool.
I kind of got that about her. Like she, Tom Bacon, she's like, fuck this. Like what? Like, but it's here. I have to deal with it. I got that kind of vibe. But is that because her stand-up is so like, I'd say borderline rage. Like I feel like it's borderline energetically. Like why is this? Like what do you mean? Can't explain it. Like, how would you describe her?
I wonder if that is just how in her family that they just communicated. I don't know because I'm not there, but I've seen that a few times in Asian families that they just kind of talk fast and purposeful.
Yeah, you're right. That's what it is. It's fast and purposeful. Okay, which is fun if you're in the groove. Just to keep going, that is so fun. I'm kind of just like, wow, that's so cool. You got to see her before everyone saw her on Netflix. She didn't want would really go anywhere. I'm gonna get out of this. Okay. I just played a Target commercial on my computer. I hope no one heard that. So just accidentally, Thanksgiving 2-day sale. They're already advertising. So where are you from, San Fran?
I lived there for a while after college, but no, I'm originally born and raised in Colorado.
Oh, that's right. You're a Broncos fan?
I am.
Or since childhood?
Yes, hardcore Broncos fan.
I was a fan of Dallas Cowboys because my dad was from New Mexico, so that was forced on me.
Mm-hmm.
No, Cardinals were not good before Jake Plummer. It was just like, I can relate to that. So what part of Denver?
I'm not anywhere near Denver.
Oh, sorry. What part of? I said Denver as if it was Colorado. Like Denver is the whole state. Sorry.
It's okay. I'm from a farming community called the San Luis Valley. And it's in central southern Colorado.
And so is there anything like that? Were your parents funny or anything that like, is there anything that like you remember from childhood that really got you into comedy where like you look back and you're like, oh, all that happened. And now I understand why I like comedy.
I mean, if you want to say out of some tragedy comes comedy, like I didn't.
Or a funny parent maybe, or.
I just had funny circumstances.
Remember one in particular? I'd love to hear it.
Golly, that's hard. Just things just like weren't normal. Like I grew
Any
up
like
in,
cow tipping?
No, cow. You can't tip a cow.
If that was real or not. My dad grew up on a farm. I don't know if that's a real thing.
Snowmobiling. That's like a big thing. And then you can like sometimes hit like a snowbank and fly up.
Fly right into the grocery store where you're going to go anyway.
Right. No. Like wearing shorts to school because it was cool, but you lived in the San Luis Valley and it's like negative 10 degrees with a wind chill.
Oh, wow. So you'd wear shorts, or people would wear shorts just to like...
I would try to, and my mom would be like, you can't go to school looking like you don't have a mother.
That's great. So my mom grew up in like Canton, Ohio. She remembers slipping on the ice on the way to school. Did that happen a lot? Or
Yes.
just car slipping?
Yes, because you also walk to school. Yeah. There was no, like, I see bus picking kids up to go like a block, and that did not happen.
No, yeah. I remember walking all the time. Wow, that must have been. So what do you think about, are they legalization of all the drugs in Colorado?
So as someone that works in the emergency department, nothing is free. I'm all for the legalization, specifically decriminalization of marijuana, but nothing is free. So what they are seeing there in their studies is people are basically overdosing on marijuana. It's causing them to have violent episodes of vomiting, and children are getting into edibles, which is a serious problem because it's making them very ill, children and pets. So we just need to educate more, I think. I'm not opposed to the legalization of marijuana. I've voted for it numerous times, but everything has a cost.
So you're seeing overdosing of marijuana, like death, or
It's not death, but it's they're coming in so sick, violently vomiting. It's pretty nasty.
I've heard about some drugs causing psychotic episodes, like just like if you had the gene for schizophrenia, it's just like opening that up or something, right? I've heard that or something, maybe not CBD, but
No, you're absolutely right. With THC, that is a component, and it's sometimes hard to know, was that always there? Did anyone release it? And can you put it back in the box? But there's also, we haven't been able to, as a medical community, research marijuana use in medicine because it's illegal federally. So we're at a very big disadvantage of studying and knowing side effects and knowing what causes what, because we can't study it.
Enough long-term use, right? I mean, there's use, but it wasn't like care. And now it's like that it's legal. They have to wait till they can study it longer, right? To find out, meth causing psychotic episodes, like unleashing someone had, and like they stabbed their eyes out or something because they were just hallucinating, or I guess meth you might hallucinate anyway. That's not, weed obviously, but weed would be the safe one. I mean, I did smoke weed for the first time a couple years ago, like this fall, it'd be 2 years. And person, like I do feel, I felt like if I had smoked CBD or something, right? Like it feels calming, but then I feel like I can't really deal with issues as well. Like if I don't smoke CBD, I feel like things that happen, I'm just like, I need to meditate and do something to like deal with that. And, you feel it like the stress in your chest or wherever you feel the stress at, like you can't really deal with things as well. Is that something you've noticed, or?
Well, I don't smoke pot. But I think that is a thing, is there's two kinds of crutches. Like, I don't think that there's much of a physical addiction to marijuana like there would be with meth, crack, cocaine, heroin. That's a physical situation. But I think that having a more calmer peace of mind would be very addicting. And not necessarily in a bad way. I don't want to ever be the person that's like, oh, I demonize marijuana. I am unable to smoke it because of my job. And it's just again, nothing's free.
And by that, there's some things there's some side effects.
Yeah. It's not perfect. Nothing's perfect. You can overdose on water.
True. I think there's people on a radio station years ago where they all like were challenging each other on the radio station to drink 3 gallons of water each, and I think 2 of them died or something. Like, it's too much. It's you can be too healthy. You can be too. And you got too much because you drowned. You drowned by self-infliction.
Yep.
I want to go into do you have any news stories that you saw recently? That sounds like a news thing we just said, actually, but
I do. And first and foremost, this is very traumatizing to me. So,
okay, fun. All right. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
So 2 baby anacondas were born in a female exhibit in a New England zoo. So there was only mama snakes, and now she has 2 babies.
Babies born from one anaconda?
With only females in the exhibit.
Oh. It's traumatizing.
Well, I'm terrified of snakes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And I decided to use it because I thought I got rid of it on Twitter and Facebook, and it just kept showing up, and it's a picture of the snake, and it terrifies me.
So you're trying to get rid of the story. It's traumatizing because you keep saying, I don't want to see this type of story. You're like, please hide this story. Like, I did not ask for this. So let me type. I want to see them. I'm sorry. I don't mean to traumatize you, but I am on a different part. I'm on a different side of the desk. So that's good.
Yeah. I won't see the snake anymore.
Oh my God. So cute. I'm just kidding. There. I have always been scared of snakes as well, and bugs. Yeah. My dad has a snake skin in his room. There was I'm sorry, I don't mean to talk. This is just for the listeners. You can plug your ears. But there was a snake on a boat when we were camping. Some snake showed up. I swear a Mesa backyard, or I swear it was I don't know. He must have snuck in. It was very long. And then I think it got skinned. And then his skin is pinned on a board. So that's a good result for you, just skin. But I'm like, let's have no skin around the house. Let's not. It's 20 years old. It's very crispy. It's very I swear, I just remember as a kid walking up to the backyard, my dad had the boat upside down, like a canoe upside down, and there was a snake across it. And I'm like, I don't think those are naturally occurring in Mesa. And I forgot, I think I was 5. I don't remember the story. I got to ask him, how did we get that snake? How it was it looked almost boa constrictor. It wasn't a boa constrictor, I don't think, but it was sorry. Hey dogs. She has a dog in here. Hey dog. That, this dog is laying down right now. That snake was super long, and I just can't even, I don't know if my dad skinned it because he grew up on a farm. He did a lot of crazy things. He drowned kittens. He did things that are unheard of. As a vegan, I just can't believe what he did. It's something, I don't know. So anyways, I don't know how that happened. I should ask him sometime. There's a board, a piece of wood that the skin was pinned on. And I'm like, nice trophy, I guess,
Yeah. We've seen those before too, growing up in the country area of getting rattlesnakes where you keep the rattle in their skin. And yeah, I don't know.
He did have, I think he did have it's at the end. Yeah. I'm just before you're vegan as a kid, you're just whatever. But then my grandparents had big bison busts attached to their walls, and deer and all that stuff. So at it, you're like, what? You're like, cool. And then you just move on, unless you're a vegan kid, that's different. I don't know what to think about that. So actually, I wanted to use this. Sorry, guys, whoever's listening, I haven't been doing as many podcast episodes outside the podcast, but there is a story. I'm going to send it to you right now. Can you get into your messenger or your phone?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This was a few weeks ago, but I just thought it was so interesting because I love like murder documentaries and analyzing the psychology of like why people do things. Just because I think from like an actor background, I just love knowing why people do things. So this was ago. This girl, saving this story for the podcast. Whenever I record the next episode, she basically, I think, sent 150,000 text messages to a guy that wouldn't talk to her. And she is, on trial or was on trial, probably in, because it sounds like a stalker, possibly. I don't know if that's stalker, vibes. But she's, I think she's still like in this interview in jail or wherever she was being held during trial. She said that she still thinks they'll get married. Yeah, 159,000 messages. I'm trying to get this story to open up. Is it going to open up? So that's pretty cool. Like what I think it's weird that, I think it's weird that people go to jail for sending a text, right? Like, where is the threshold? Like, that's a lot of text. So I get it if it's like a stalker, right? I've never sent that many. I'm not interested in talking to people that much.
Yeah.
Like, if someone's not interested in me, like, interested from the beginning, I'm like, whatever, we're done. Like, but I just wonder, like, how many texts for 20 years in prison? Like, how many texts for 30 years? Like, how many? Is it 100 texts for like a month in prison? I don't know.
Yeah, and I guess the thing is that I wouldn't really know because I'm married and my husband and I don't talk or text that much. We're kind of chill. Very nice. Very good guy. No, he is. And then it's just, if anyone has ever been stalked as a woman, it's always, there's not enough evidence. And so I don't know what that standard is. I don't know what else versus just the texting. Clearly that's excessive. I get that. But I mean, this is dark, but men have like raped women and have been out with good behavior and served no jail time.
You're right.
So I don't have that answer.
My semen's in her, but we can't prove it. Like, we can't. She did the rape kit. Well, it's too late to prove it. Well, I don't know if the rape kit, does that include, what does a rape kit include?
I'm not a sane nurse, so I don't know exactly, but my guess is it's usually anything that was on the body, including skin samples from a gynecological examination, fingernails, hair, teeth. They have to try to pull a lot of those things.
Are a lot of those things unsuccessful in prosecuting the rapist?
It depends. Well, I don't have any specifics, but basically, no, it's very helpful if the rape kits get processed. So it's always a matter of...
It is helpful.
Yeah, if the rape kits get processed, yes, there's a much higher chance that you will catch the rapist.
Okay. So, well, that's good. It's just such a gray line about, because there's also like a girl who was prosecuted for telling someone Kevorkian style to kill himself. Like, oh, like, you were trying to kill yourself, friend? Well, then just do it. Like, that sort of thing. Like, she got in trouble for that. It was a girl in her teens, I think. Maybe it was more dramatic than that, but it's like, I don't know. Everything's so gray as far as are getting prosecuted for just like, if I tell you your hair looks nice and then you shave it, you're like, oh. Or if I say, like, if someone says they don't like my hair, I'm going to shave my head then, and I'm going to like, oh, I'm going to report them, They don't like my hair, it made me shave my head, Like, can they prosecute that?
I think
so weird.
The criminal justice system is so funny because there's being arrested, but you can get arrested for anything, and then there's being tried and found guilty. So typically in those situations, you see so much more of the evidence of exactly the nitty-gritty of what happened versus what you're going to see on TV or in a news clip.
Oh, Yeah. Do you think women are prosecuted for weird things, like weird gray? I mean, yeah, the stalker person, I don't want her after me. Like, I don't, put her away, please. Put her somewhere in another state, maybe, or I can move or something.
The truth is I just don't know the answer to that question.
Yeah.
I think we know statistically that the majority of women that are prosecuted or like fighting back a lot of times in a domestic relation situation or a drug situation, prostitution, they definitely don't commit as many violent crimes.
Yeah. There's a show I've been watching. I think it's an old show on Netflix. It's not women in prison, but it's something like that where it's like coerced in doing a crime just because, Sammy told me to, or they were an accomplice. A lot of them were just accomplices.
Yeah.
And they didn't really want to be necessarily, but maybe they were on or just helping out or just happened to be there and they're like serving time. So some of them actually did murder people, but I think it was still like, maybe that's the show's premise is to find when a male told them to do something. Maybe that's the whole premise of the show is like, and then now they're in prison for it, for being involved. I don't know. That seems to be like what that show is about.
My husband can't get me to vacuum the floor, so I don't know.
You what?
My husband can't get me to vacuum the floor, so I don't know.
Yeah. We're comedians. We can't be told what to do. Girl, we have a brain. Like, if you're a comedian, you think too much anyway, and you're not going to do shit. You're going to be like, you do your thing. I'm going to watch this. I'm going to sleep. Okay? I'm just going to go to sleep. Yeah. My whole life I've been like smart like that though. Like I've never been like, I think I might come across like, I'll do anything. But like, I don't know. Like I might seem like, like this happy. But I'm like, no, I overthink. And I say, no, for myself.
Yeah, no, I'm very similar. And I think I grew up in a very chaotic environment where at some point I just had to look out for myself first. And so that's always interesting. And I tried for a long time to be what someone else wanted me to be. And I was so shit at it that it wasn't worth it.
Oh, and then you feel fake, like, and then it's a lie, and then you just feel unfulfilled. So, were you alone a lot as a kid? Like, I was just alone in my house a lot, like maybe watching my brother or just alone. I can't explain it. Like, I was alone a lot in my house. My parents worked a lot at like a corporation, and then I moved out on my own. So it's like I'm just always used to being by myself.
I was very similar, and I have half brothers and sisters and stepbrothers and sisters, but I was also an only child for the majority of the time when I was with my mom. So I didn't have a lot of toys. I read so many books because we were poor, and so I spent a lot of time alone.
Did you ever make up characters or?
Oh yeah.
And of course, always talk. I mean, I talk to myself like sometimes. I know someone who talks to themselves. I work at a corporate job right now, and he talks to himself just at his desk, and he's like way younger than me. And I'm like, be on YouTube, like he's talking about sports, like his fantasy team or something. He's really cool. He's like a rapper. But nowadays, if you talk to yourself, just have a YouTube channel. Yeah. Like or have your own podcast where you have no guests.
Yeah. Just
you talking about a subject, which is just like the selfish way to go, but and not getting the insight from anyone.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I have trouble with, I don't even know how, no offense, I don't even know how you're married because I'm so alone. I don't really trust, like, how do you know and to trust? Okay. I probably can figure it out, but if you have suggestions, go ahead.
I'm so lucky because Wayne likes me for exactly who I am. And we try to limit each other's expectations.
Limit each other's expectations?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, that's good.
Just that sounds so. No, just
the bar low, and just a little bit.
Be honest about what you need and you want. So we have a funny story where when we first moved in together, I'd lived by myself for a long time.
Oh, girl. Okay.
And I was going to the coffee maker and he stopped me and told me how cute I was.
Coffee maker?
Yeah, the coffee maker going to get coffee in the morning.
Okay,
before
at a
7
place
a.m.
or something?
No,
or?
at my house.
At your house. Okay.
And he stood between me and the coffee maker and told me I was cute.
Oh.
And I lost it. It's like, don't patronize me. And I was serious. I thought he was just digging at me in the morning because I just wasn't used to having an interaction.
Yeah. Like, kind of like, get out of my way, please. I need to get my coffee and leave.
Yeah.
So he was already living with, like, this is a scenario where he was living with you?
The
or
first
just
week.
that he was living with you. Okay. It's almost like a morning text that you are just like, nah.
Yep.
But he's like in your face with the morning text with his words.
Right there.
It's a text, a screen you can't get away from. It's like a person. Okay.
Yeah.
So that like broke you down. You're like, I am cute.
I guess my mom said, you know, you're a lot of things, but cute in the morning is not one of them.
Your mom. Well, she created you. So same for her. Okay.
She said, if someone thinks that about you legitimately, you should probably hold on to them. And it's worked out. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think I had a guy that was that nice and I dumped him because he was too hairy. He was a bear, you know, like.
I don't fault you.
Okay, thank you.
No.
Okay. I don't know. I just,
I'm pretty set on just
living alone for the rest of my life. Like I'm pretty much, because sometimes, you know, other people's problems, right, are hard to deal with. Like you just don't, I'm like, that's you. Like, leave me alone. Like we're together. Leave me out of this. That's your mental health problem. I have my own. Thanks.
Yeah. I bring most of the mental health problems in my marriage. So
you bring most of them to the marriage?
yeah, I think I'm definitely the damaged one.
Comedian. So like,
fair enough.
Yeah. I don't think I'm like that damaged, but I'm still a comedian. So. But when you start journaling, if you start journaling, you realize, oh, maybe I have some things going on. Like if I constantly want to write 10 pages nonstop every day. And I'm like, might be some of it's still the same stuff. Some of it's just like me rhyming through things, like just writing a poem or something silly. And sometimes I just throw it away. But yeah, at work, when I got my job, I didn't have a job for 2 years after another corporate job, PayPal. Through a temp agency, and it's pretty good. It's very boring, but we have a lot of freedom, but yet we don't. Like there's no adherence to a certain time for lunch or breaks, but we need to be there, which is kind of hard because like you get sleepy, you know. It's so weird. So it's opposite of emergency room. Like that sounds way more exciting. Like you're a TV show, but you're not. It's real life. I didn't have a job for 2 years, and what was I going to say? I just like always sidetrack myself. I'm sorry. It's the CBD. See, my memory is going. What was it? Anyways, I was going to say, so I'll see if it comes back up. That's embarrassing. So, I'm 34. I'm just losing my mind. So at work I would journal just because like the training was so boring, and just to stop from falling asleep, I started journaling again. And I would do like 10 pages during our time, like 5 to 10 pages. And sometimes I don't want to talk about, doesn't it bring on more problems to talk about problems? I'm kind of like on the fence about that. Like if I journal about a problem, right, or something, does that just bring the energy of more problems, or do you think it actually releases it? Because I felt like relief, of course.
I think it could be both. I think it could do both. I think that depends ultimately on your mindset of, was this cathartic versus was this something that I need to lament on some more?
Yeah. Lament on a lot is the key. Some things, right? You just keep like, it keeps coming up in your journal. Like, I thought I was over this. Like, I thought I was past this.
No, I have that all the time. I have that all the time where I think, okay, this is settled business, and then something happens and I say, oh, this is not settled business.
That triggers you a little bit inside, a little stress. You're like, why do I feel stressed about this? No. Where's my CBD? I don't have it. Oh, I told myself I wouldn't smoke CBD anymore just to see if I can like remember my thoughts. Like I just forgot during. Yeah, I'm just gonna try to deal with this and just, yeah.
Well, let's go into a celebrity.
Celebrity. I'll guess your celebrity dick of the week.
We
Describe him. Could be actually a TV show, by the way. It could be anything. I know, and maybe it's too late to tell you that. Sorry. But yeah, I can't wait to guess.
Okay. Well, this is a female.
Okay.
She is a former model and reality star.
I need more details.
She was really big in the early 2000s is when she was in Reality Star. I'm sure she's done a Big Brother appearance.
Oh.
From Big Brother?
She's not from Big Brother. She was initially a model.
Model.
She's considered
Okay.
the first supermodel.
The first supermodel ever, or
Well, like in the wave of the first supermodel.
I was thinking Cindy Crawford, 90s. Was she just a model or was she a supermodel?
Well, she was definitely a supermodel.
She like the first supermodel of the early 2000s?
Well, she was not in the 2000s.
Oh, sorry.
That's when her reality show was hitting.
Is she dead?
I don't think so.
Okay. I'm thinking of this blonde.
No, definitely not blonde.
Okay. Yeah, what's the hair color?
Brown.
Brown type name, or like a type, like a
Yes.
Woodrow or Woodward or
It's
Wood.
It's a Inson. So it's definitely a Dickerson.
Oh, it's a Dickerson. Oh, fuck.
Dickinson.
It's a Dickinson, like an Emily Dickinson, but just opposite of that. She's not writing poetry; she's modeling, or not writing in a cabin somewhere. And anything that we give her away, because I might need to funnel this down and give it away, right?
Yeah, no, I felt bad because I thought that it was just so generic that it would. So she was one of the judges on America's Next Top Model in the early 2000s.
Is she a Victoria's Secret model ever?
No.
I'm starting to Google this. I'm starting to cheat. I'm sorry. I may not even get it. I may not even. Otherwise, it's the whole podcast, but that'd be fun. Is anyone screaming at the podcast right now, going, "It's so and so"? I can't believe you don't know.
Oh, I would not have
Gotten this. Is it Janice?
Yeah,
Janice. Sorry, Janice. 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 Same.
You did not watch enough reality TV in the 2000s.
Watched Real World a little bit. What else did I watch? Murders. I would watch Dateline 2020, the murder, the hour, like they talked about.
Wow.
When I was younger.
my street
Was on I grew up on Stapley Drive, and my street was on 2020 because of the shooters that were in Phoenix in 2006. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so there's Baseline Killer, and then there's someone on my street,
which they thought it was the
Baseline Killer, doing Stapley Drive, Gilbert Road, and Baseline. And so Gilbert Road, sorry, I had a friend who died in a neighborhood, a neighborhood of maybe a half a mile from here. A high school friend who got shot by one of these people. But I'd say 2006, she got shot. She's dead, so that's so sad. But yeah, I think it was like two people that were just shooting people on Stapley Drive, like early in the morning, between if it was dark. If it was 10 p.m. to
6 a.m.,
or just no one was outside, that was the time that they were striking, and they'd try to shoot people biking to work, they would miss, but
I didn't.
Names, but not, yeah. So Baseline Killer was getting people at bus stops, and I was scared to take the bus. I was taking the bus, and I was like, oh no, what if he goes from Baseline to the streets I take, which is Southern to college. Mesa Community College.
That's
so
horrible.
yeah. I'd be like, that's a stress thing. When I wish I had CBD back then, right? Just
right, yeah, that's stressful.
I already think if I cross the street to take the bus, to catch the bus, I always had dreams or the early morning dreams when
you're about to wake up. But I'd have
just a worry that I'm going to get hit by a car trying to cross the street because I don't cross at the light by my house. I would cross, wouldn't waste my time walking to the light.
Yeah, I almost died in San Francisco doing that one time. So I typically go to the crosswalk.
Oh, okay. Well, now they have like the halfway crosswalks, which has been nice. Like they started putting those up.
Yeah, definitely.
But San Francisco, I saw, I saw like Tim Burton there when he was scouting for.
No.
That was by accident. So that was just a random.
No, it was very early 20s. I was very broke. Being in San Francisco was pretty miserable at that time.
And your parents were like, we need to live here.
No, I went after college. They never lived here. They never lived there.
You went there.
Mm-hmm.
What made you go there?
I just was going to go to the big city. And I didn't want to go to New York because they have snow.
Yeah, right.
I grew up in one of the coldest places in the nation. And so I went there and made it work. But I ended up coming back to Arizona. It was good.
When you went to San Francisco, was it just no plan or just be in a big city to see what you want to do, or you knew what you wanted to do?
Well, no, it was a plan. My bachelor's degree is in fashion merchandising. So I worked for Macy's in their buying office.
Wow. Oh, so you got transferred there, or you worked for them there?
No, I just went there and gave him my resume and cried a lot, and then I got a job.
Were they paying you per hour for San Francisco?
Nothing.
If you want to live here, well, yeah, everything was
extremely expensive. I ended up getting a second job bartending on a little party cruise boat around the bay.
Mm-hmm.
And I would
fun.
I would supplement my income that way to make rent and stuff.
And then at some point, were you out of food a lot and you just I need to get out of here? Like, what made you move to?
I moved back partially because of my husband. So yeah, I have done something for love, I guess. But no, it was just it was getting tiresome. Working two jobs to pay rent and out of food. I wasn't so bad. I dated a bartender that was at the bar that was cat-a-corner from my house. So I was able to drink pretty cheaply if I went there.
That was like your food.
Yeah.
Your escape. Like, did you drink to escape your funds? You know what I mean? Like the reality of the situation. Did you do any of that kind of stuff?
I don't know that that's the case. I'm pretty unapologetic in a lot of my behavior because I just don't care. I've said that what I've done to myself is maybe not even as bad as what other people have done to me. And yeah, this is really dark, but there were times when I would just drink too much. And then there are times now where, just drinking that much has had the repercussions. I can't bounce back. I'm old.
Oh, you're old. I didn't know. Are you in your 30s?
Yeah.
Are you? Okay, for real. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We're on the we're approaching 40 more than you're approaching 30.
Oh, okay. Towards the 40 range. I love age. I just like announcing it, like veganism. I'm just I'm 34, and they're like, "Oh, what?" And I'm just I do yoga with my I do the face yoga.
That's great.
It actually is. I notice my neck hurts more. My shoulders have always hurt since I was younger. The stress you keep in your shoulders, and my knees always hurt since 19. I think I did a lot of track. A lot of shot put, not even running, just running, but not competitively. But a lot of the people throw the rocks and throw those things. And the girls who were way bigger than me, so good at it. And there was one girl who was my size that was really good at it. But the rest of us were just so hard to throw. I think I'll talk about my celebrity real quick before I forget.
Yeah.
Mine is a movie.
Also a person. I'll give you a few things. I'll narrow it down. But so a white newspaper reporter created it. 70s.
Dick Tracy.
Oh, I've done that one. No. Yeah, I love that one, but that's not
Oh,
it.
darn it.
Studio wanted to shoot in Los Angeles. It was filmed in New York City, though. There's shots of Times Square and Greenwich Village. What else? The mustache in this movie was non-negotiable.
When was the movie shot? 70s, you said.
I think it was like it came out in 71, I think.
Yeah. July 2nd.
July 2nd, 1971. It was a black private dick that's a sex machine to all the chicks. Exploitation. I think that's what their description said. The director put his magazine in the movie. Okay, magazine. I guess the magazine Essence is prominently displayed, and that's no accident. In the film was a real mobster. Wow. Bumpy Jonas was a real mobster in heart. She's the daughter of Harlem crime kingpin. So most of the movie tracking down a kidnapped girl, and she's the daughter of a Harlem crime kingpin, Bumpy Jonas. And Bumpy was not a Hollywood invention. I can narrow this down more. Sorry.
No, I'm just and now I just
I wish I
wanna
could be
say Dick
Kristen
Van
Wiig.
Dyke.
Wig in an SNL sketch where she just announces it's like the word, like don't say this word but describe it, and then she just says it. It's a funny sketch. She's their old game show or
So
something.
it's a movie and a person.
It's a comic book series too. In 2000, there's a reboot starring Samuel L. Jackson. There's a reboot, I think, on the screen. Oh, yeah. There has been no new blank movie since the 2000 reboot starring Samuel L. Jackson, but Dynamite Entertainment began printing blank comic book series in 2014. That probably does not help you, but maybe
Shaft.
Oh yeah, did you search for it too?
No, it just makes so much sense. Darn it.
I know it's good. I just figured I should bring that one up at some point because it's an obvious dick move. Like it's an obviously dick related name. So
Shaft.
I don't even know his name. Richard Roundtree, is that him?
Yeah, maybe.
See. Sorry, everyone listening. I just know the theme song, and I know that I think the theme song has a nice little. Oh yeah, it's Richard Roundtree. Just set for life after that movie. I bet. There's always movies that are made. You're not sure if they're going to do well, but. I'm not sure of anything like this podcast. I don't know what's going to do well. Like you keep going and you're just like into it. If you're like focused on learning something about what you're doing or not thinking about the bigger picture, like, oh, is it going to make it? But think about like
What you love about it.
And just improving.
Yeah.
I think that's my philosophy in life. It's just like it's a process of improving whatever I'm trying to do.
Because you can get stuck and sad and just think you're not going anywhere. That's where CBD comes in. It can just make you forget all that. And then you just kind of don't do anything. You just kind of like put things off.
Red wine and coffee those are my crutches.
I like coffee. Yeah. Have you ever had red wine and coffee like in the same 5 minutes? Like just an upper and a downer. It's like a good combo.
Well, I love coffee, and so a lot of times I'll get most of the time it is decaf, but I'll get like a decaf coffee and I'll finish my wine or whatever at dinner.
I heard decaf coffee was the beans that no one wanted. Like I heard it's the let's see. There's something about decaf coffee. I sometimes drink it too at work. Our work has shitty coffee. Oh my God. But we are across the parking lot from a Starbucks, which is it's okay. But my work has this container. It's massive. It's really hot, but they never clean it. So I'm not sure if we have coffee grounds from the 80s in there, like the water, I don't know. Like, anyways, it's scary. I'll say, what is decaf coffee? I don't want to down the decaf coffee, but I would hear like Mormon joke. I'm not Mormon, by the way. I don't know if I look Mormon, but I would hear.
Too.
Yeah, we do. We look like we
definitely look
belong
Mormon.
in a cult or a compound. We do look like we came out of a compound and got saved. Like, Kimmy Schmidt style.
We would be
We would be cast in that show easily.
Yes.
I worked at a Starbucks in Albertsons where like a grocery store Starbucks where this lady was Mormon and she would come by and get coffee, but she was converted. Boobs, these big fake boobs. She's like, please don't tell my husband I come here, you know? Because she would get decaf and she thought that was safe or something. And I'm like, that's still coffee. You're still breaking the Bible, the Mormon Bible. So what is Oh man, I wish this article would just give me a straight answer. Is it better to drink decaf? Yeah, it doesn't pose a risk with your cardiovascular system as much. So that's good. But I was trying to find the thing that talked about what it was. Too long to look it up, I guess. Anyways, I just heard it was like the beans that were rejected. I'm like, that's nice. But they'd still just be coffee if that's the case, you know? Non-decaf coffee.
Well, I think it might be the beans that nobody uses, and I think that they have to like extract out the caffeine.
Like put it through water, maybe heat it up.
And so that's why it's never going to have as much flavor as a caffeinated coffee.
Bad cholesterol, like because coffee has the good and bad cholesterol if you don't like filter it, right?
Well, coffee has oil in it naturally, yeah.
To me, that a bean. Do black beans have oils?
Of course.
Water, and that was it. Like,
no.
Because you're always like getting the water out of the can or buying it dry and then cooking it. What shows are coming up for you?
Oh, I have a big show on May 30th. It's an all-female show. You are in it.
I'm in it. Okay.
It's an all-female lineup at Tempe Improv, and it's going to be really exciting. It's my first time on that big of a stage. I'm really nervous. I'm definitely not like I'm in awe and humbled by the females that I'm going to be sharing the stage with that night.
Yeah, me too. You. Everyone else whose face I saw on that poster. I know them. But yes, I'm glad. I love all female shows. I love female shows. I love that people show up for female shows because everyone's like, like I feel like back in the day, they're like, no one's going to show up for a female show. Like, so stupid. The big thing.
Well, Dana's hosting and she is off the hook. Funny. Yeah.
Dana Whitson, shout out. Yeah, she is. I love her video. She's doing more. She's doing animations now with her characters.
Yeah.
I love that. I don't even know what she uses, but it's pretty good actually. And I'm like, I can see this as the show. Yeah. Voice for it, like I thought I'm hoping for, or something like help out with it. But improv's interesting because I have a story for you. I've always wanted to talk about it on the podcast. For anyone who wants to know. But I did. Tempe Improv is owned by the Stand Up Live owners, right? And they own CB Live. I worked at Stand Up Live and was like fired after the first week. I wanted to open for Maria Bamford, the comedian. She was coming like a week next week. Like that a week from. It was like just in a few days or something. And I just like asked my friends, people who like are on my comedy mailing list. I'm like, I want to open for her. Like, can you guys like message the club and just be like, hey, April should open for her. They messaged the club a lot, I guess. I thought I would get 2 or 3, like maybe 2 people. Called the club and they messaged her manager and stuff. And like, yeah, like it was insane. So I was like pretty scared to perform at Stand Up Live. I'm not scared. I thought it would happen eventually, but I was just like, because I got fired for having contacted the club. They're like, we can't have people contacting the club for you to perform, so you're fired. And I'm like, meanwhile, there's like comedians that are perform there, but they're also waiters. So I don't know, they're not fired, but maybe they didn't do what I did or something. It's kind of weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have any familiarity with that club, but I typically open at least monthly for the Comedy Spot. And
okay, yeah.
that's been a really great experience for me.
Yeah, I like that place. That's my first heckler was there, actually. And, like, I think there were some like kids that were high, or kids. I mean, like 18 and up. They were probably, hopefully. Yeah, so I think it's cool. I got to perform at Stand Up Live and then Tempe Improv. I just can't believe I get to perform. That's great. I'm like, like, don't take it for granted sort of thing. And mention that in case anyone was wondering. I don't know if I told that story on the other episode.
Yeah, that's crazy I mean, it's so cool. What great fan base that you have that,
right? They were like impressed, but they're also like, we need to let you go. But hey, you have fans. I'm like, I'm confused. Like, what? I'm confused on your reasoning on this. I'm confused on what you're saying right now, but I was crying like profusely. So
yeah, I would. Yeah. How long have you been doing comedy?
2015, stand up, and then like improv since 2004. I would say, like,
Fun.
Really fun to kind of let loose and just a little bit, but still be like some of the shows need to be clean, so you're still clean. But improv in 5th grade, I would just start my own. I did an improv troupe with myself, basically, because I was alone. Like, just this alone mindset from the beginning since I was little, and I would just do improv with myself, like, at home.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Imitate. Do a lot of voice imitations as a kid.
That's fun.
Do you do any voice imitations? Any characters that you've done?
I don't. I'm not. I can do Valley Girl really good.
Oh, I could see that. Yeah,
everybody can. No, I don't. I've never been good at impressions, I don't think.
You do an impression of me right now where you're a Valley Girl, but you just got out of a polygamous cult.
Okay. So I had to escape, and it was really hard because I like broke my nail when I was digging out of the wall. And now my nail polish looks really bad, but I don't want to have 5 husbands and 3 wives. Like, I just don't think, I mean, I don't know. I thought penguins mated for life.
Oh, it's a heartbreaker at the end. You're like, It's like, I watched a documentary where, like, the penguins were
not being raped by their dads.
Like, they were like a compound, but they all had their own their own penguin, right? There wasn't sharing multiple penguins.
Yeah. But she learned something. I learned something from a documentary. So bad.
Oh, it sounds good. I like it. And that could be a thing. It's weird how, like, there are things that are like cultish. Like, penguins are actually kind of a cult, but, like, I feel they have their own one penguin, right?
That's my understanding.
Something.
Yeah, that's my understanding.
What I like is when I see a picture of puppies on Facebook and the mom is with the puppies, but also the dad is there.
Yeah.
Is this like, does he know he's so, like, is he going against his instincts or going with his instincts as a dog to be there for the puppies?
Well, I don't think a lot of dogs are there a lot of like the daddies are there. They just are sired and then.
Or it's gray or something. Or
yeah.
hit and run,